for certain who is Danny Lynn's biological father? Could a judge force Howard K. Stern to go to California to provide a DNA sample? Joining us in Tampa, prosecutor Pam Bondi and criminal defense attorney Jeff Brown. Jeff, I'm not quite sure why Howard K. Stern's DNA is needed in this matter. I think it's just the babies, but nonetheless, that's the discussion. But anyway, your thought tonight about this battle.
Well, I think the reason they're doing that is what we call an end around. What they want to do is get Howard K. Stern's DNA, be able to say that he's not the father, and then obviously hoping that opens the door in Bahamas for the judge to say, well, now I need to find out.
But how can they tell he's not that? How can they tell he's not the father without the baby's DNA? I mean, that's the crazy part. I don't get this.
Well, I know that. I think what they're trying to do is that, but yeah, the point is that's half of the battle. The other half is you have to compare it to something, and without the baby's DNA, it does you no good. So, yeah, I'll tell you, from my aspect, and I'm in the middle of this of my own trial right now, and I'm looking at the way these lawyers are acting, and I'm disgusted. I'm really just disgusted. This is not a complicated issue. Just submit to the DNA, and it's done. And to hear the lawyers putting all these qualifications on it and never answering a question directly, you know, I'm dealing with lawyers right now, and we can get so much more accomplished because we're just
now it makes your own case look better. I hope your opponents are listening tonight. Pam, your turn.
Greta, and I'm with what you and Jeff said. You know, we're all a bunch of lawyers, and we're sitting here talking about procedural and settlement is appalling to me to say in the words of the same sentence with who's the father of the baby. And you know, as a prosecutor, and Jeff, as a defense attorney, you can sit down and work things out without the court system. And I'm completely with you, Greta. What needs to be done is they can each fly their own independent expert to the Bahamas, take a swab of that baby. Who cares about Howard Stern's DNA? Swab Burkhead and find out if he's the father, which I think the whole world believes he is.
Jeff, do you think, I mean, I think that the promise really is to force Howard K. Stern to agree to this, because it seems that Larry, since day one, he just wants a DNA test. If he's not the father, he'll go off into the sunset. If he is, he wants responsibilities. But putting pressure over someone living in the Bahamas is extraordinarily difficult. But one viewer suggested to me, what about a bar complaint in California against Howard K. Stern to sort of ratchet it up? What about that?
Yeah, but a bar complaint's going to take forever to get resolved. You have to file a complaint. There are statutory timeframes about answering that and then going through discovery. That's just going to take too long. There's just no reason why they can't resolve this.
And Pam, here's another viewer idea as to put pressure on the Bahamas, is for a boycott on the Bahamas, because people are simply outraged on us, to get the Bahamas to put pressure on this DNA production. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's that far-fetched, Greta, because, I mean, we are one of the main sources, our country, of the Bahamas income, and the whole world is watching this case, and Stern is basically harboring this baby in the Bahamas. So I don't know if it happened, but yeah, I don't think it would happen, but I don't think it's a bad idea.
All right, well, we'll take a look, see if put economic pressure for the citizens here. Anyway, panel, thank you. Sorry it's so short.
Thank you.
Here's a look at what's coming.